Yeah. What's happening? Let me make sure I'm making it do what it's supposed to do, because you know, sometimes I get on here and be tripping. Make sure we got everything is everything. You know what I mean? Everything. Yeah, we good. Yeah. And we back. So I know it's been a while, and I've promised this show or these episodes from time to time, but we are back again with another Bizarro World. So what is Bizarro World about? It's mainly about kind of like fringe topics. You know what I'm saying? Not really fringe topics, but we're going to talk about some crazy stuff, some weird stuff, some stuff that's going on in the news, some stuff that's, you know, that I see that I, you know, that I want to react to. But first, make sure you follow the squad on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. YouTube /Crown of Glory 360. That's where you can find all the shows, everything that we do. Bizarro World is an impromptu show. We will be doing more of these now that I got everything back to where it's supposed to be. So we love you, God. But yeah, man, God is good. Shout out to the whole crew. Anybody that's checking in, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and tag somebody, let them know we in the building. So we're gonna start off with I guess you can look at this as lighthearted. It ain't really lighthearted because it's sad. And it's not, I guess compared to the other topics that I'm gonna touch on tonight and the things I'm gonna share with y'all tonight. So this first topic is entitled Really, dude? So now, like I said, we're gonna touch on some peculiar things. That's the whole point of Bizarro World. Some really weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I come across these videos and these posts and these different things, and you know, I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? Like, is this real? Like a lot of the stuff, like a couple of these topics tonight, I when I first saw them, I was like, is this real? Like, this can't be real. So check dude out. check this out, right? Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Now, I don't know where or who. Like,
I'm Bazooka Hans, professional. First fight. Official, original, dynamometers, electronic. Ooh.
like, really? Like, where are like I know this stuff is, I know this is like common. But hold on, check him out.
Bazooka
Do
Hans,
y'all
Bazooka Hans, first strong man. Ooh. Ooh.
But the lips though, like he didn't only get, he got bicep implants. Not only did he get bicep implants, he got lip injections. So this had, like, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, are they mentally ill? Like he's obviously foreign, right? So, and I'm like, but where is really? So, check him out in this one though. And for real, like this is demonic. I'm gonna just say it. Like this is demonic. Like there's no functioning. These aren't functioning muscles. Ain't nothing he can, like, he's squeezing it like as if that the implants, like as if they're actual muscles.
40 kilograms. I'm big man, professional. Yes. Bazooka. Bazooka.
Wow. Wow. Like, what? Come on, man. Hold on, check this one out though. Check this one out though. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you have to be mentally unstable to think, like, is it people egging you on? Like, I wish I had 20/20 vision so I could see what those comments are saying. Because I bet you I bet you the overwhelming majority of these comments, they're saying, yeah, this is okay. Like, this is not okay. So, you know, look at him. Wow. Wow. You and this is real. Like I'm at a loss for words. Like really, like I see stuff like this, and it's like it's like it's literally it's sad because our like you can't be serious. Like this can't be real. Like, are you like somebody has to like it should be illegal to and that's a whole nother conversation. What up, Al?
What's going on, Rick?
It should be illegal for surgeons to do some of the things that people do that they do to the people. What up, J1? Did you just see the first video I played?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just tapping in. I didn't
Man,
get a chance to see it.
I'ma just you ever seen this guy before? Can you see it?
I've seen somebody similar to her. They put those shots in their arm and their muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw
Like,
another guy like him. I think this guy, I think he was from South America, and I think his muscle explode.
yeah, I seen that one too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get what they think they getting out of this, because they're not even like dude moving in like the other video I showed. He was literally like flexing and gripping stuff like as if they are actual functioning muscles, and it's like it's the same lunacy of any ideology where you actually think that a fairy tale is real, that you really think that something imaginary is actually real. Like, dude, like that's yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm just starting off there because it's way more bizarre. So the next topic is walk a mile. Have you heard of this? Walk a mile in her shoes. Happened in Georgia this past weekend, right?
Yeah,
Or this,
yeah, I ever heard. Walk a mile, her shoes.
huh?
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, that's an old adage or old saying. Then you can't walk a mile in my shoe.
Oh no, that look, check this out. That ain't what I'm talking about. Check this out, Alan.
Oh,
Check this out, right? Walk a mile in her shoes event goes viral as men physically put themselves in women's shoes to protest against domestic violence.
wow.
So, yeah,
Never.
I'm like,
That's bizarre. Why you got to take it to that? To that level. It's the only places they do that, like here in America and Europe. And I mean, not necessarily over there. But yeah, that's pretty bizarre, man.
what do y'all think? Like, come on, man, really? Like, and then the comments is full of women like this is so good. This is so great. It's like I can remember when women were turned off by emasculated men. I can remember when, not to be too politically incorrect, but women wasn't clapping and be happy about dudes switch hitting and going the other way. They didn't think that was cute.
Yeah,
But
I had to turn it on my YouTube on my TV so I can see what you're talking about. Wow, that's crazy.
yeah,
That is crazy. And old brothers doing it too. But
yeah.
it's just, yo, it's just a lot of stuff that like, what are y'all trying to prove, man? Come on. That's just they laced them cans, man. Was that estrogen?
Who like
It's
I don't
crazy,
like.
man.
I saw this. I'm like, what? Like, do you have like? And the craziest part about it is the women that is celebrating it. Like, why are you happy? Why are you excited about seeing men this way? I get the metaphor, but come on, man. Like, so regular, fair consideration, love, and protection ain't enough to give to the women and project out into the community. Everything has to be extreme. Everything has to be you have to uproot the norms and like, and it's so crazy because that shade room I got that post from, and black women are the main ones talking about this is so good. Like, oh, he looked like he practiced. Oh, he doing good. He looked like come on, man. Why are we hype about stuff like this? Why you think this is okay? So now, so the next part, I'm a ma'am. It's ma'am, right? So these next two clips I thought were I wasn't sure whether or not they were real or whether or not they were spoofs or parody, or I didn't know what was going on. But they may I can't hear you, Al. What'd you say?
I said that dude spazzed out. I seen that one. I seen that one.
The
That was
one
crazy.
Right, yeah.
I'm a man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's the one at the video store, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, check this out.
This, Jessica, who are you? That is me, clearly. We've met. That's you.
Goodness.
Yes, that's not you. This is a different person. No, that is me.
What did you
These are
say?
different.
That is not a picture. All natural. What are you talking about?
What?
That is not. It's me. Come on. How is that a picture? It doesn't look anything like you. What do you mean it doesn't? It looks nothing like. Look at those eyes. These are these eyes. Are you joking?
That's why I'm looking at this like this can't be like this got to be a joke. And somebody's recording it. Like, are they trying to go viral or are they serious? And so I don't know, because I thought, I was thinking like, well, maybe it could be fake, and maybe that somebody's doing this to I don't know,
For ratings.
for ratings or to get a rise or to go viral or to make it look like it's real. But I don't know, man. It might
Most
be
of
real.
the most of the time it is because I was on that topic this morning with my security guard at school um, because you know people are at arms, and then you got some of my colleagues don't think it's nothing wrong with them putting pornographic material
Mhm.
in libraries of elementary schools. I mean, when I said pornographic, hardcore
Yeah,
pornographic,
yeah,
it's not heterosexual pornographic stuff. It's LGBT
yeah,
pornographic stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I
yeah.
mean, man, I don't know if this
You
is
didn't
real or
use
not.
Facetune, you used Face.
For somebody to actually to go on a dating website, set up a profile, and to set up a date, knowing that the person is expecting a natural woman, and you show up and you really try to convince them that it is what it is. Like, either you are out of your mind or this is fake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Swap. That's an entirely different. So now you're discriminating. And you're telling me that I don't get out of you. What do you mean?
Yeah, I hope we don't get strike, man.
Huh?
I hope you don't get strike. Facebook kind of sensitive with this crazy stuff.
Hold on. Well, you know what we do about that. What I do with it? I get. Do I still got it?
Fair use, fair use,
Fair use.
educational purposes.
Yeah, yeah. For
Yeah.
promotion, education, reactions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kissing nobody. You're a man. A man. Oh. What are you doing on this side? You're offensive to me. I am not a man. You're a dog. That's what we got this water bowl. Ridiculous. So I look you and your little pet rock on your necklace, and you're trying to tell me that I am not. And it looks nothing.
This ain't real.
You are posing as a woman.
Oh my goodness.
Posing. Yeah. You're a poser. Nothing like this person.
Girl, do you see this?
Are you kidding? I'm sitting here waiting for that person to show up. Clearly, been waiting, and here I am. Okay, just come up and try to.
That ain't real. I don't care. That ain't real, Al. That ain't real.
I think they're doing it for views, man. And I don't know, man. It's just
That one ain't real. That one ain't real. What about
that's the direction our world is going, bro.
man? What about this one now? Now, first, when I seen this, I was like, now this one ain't real neither, but I don't know. As I watched it a few times, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Uh-oh.
Don't get in my face. Don't get in
my face. Don't you see my daughter right here? She's right here. No. You need to go over there to the meeting.
Only here in Chicago.
You is a man. A whole grown man.
Wow. Over at the park.
For the last time, I'm not a man.
I'm sorry. I don't know what. No.
I look more fabulous than you.
You wish. On my worst day, baby. On my worst day.
Okay,
Good luck. Good
If
luck.
y'all have a problem with me
Good
in the
luck.
bathroom, y'all can
Good
go
luck.
somewhere else.
Hey man, use another bathroom.
Excuse me?
Just use another bathroom. There's a child in there.
What?
Men.
That's a
Did
child.
you just say what you? Huh?
That's a child in there. A little
Okay.
girl. Like,
Okay.
use the men's bathroom.
Okay. I'm a woman. What's the matter? What's the matter?
you-
Y'all need to mind your
This world
business.
is coming
Y'all need
up.
to mind your business.
This is where world is coming.
Either this is fake and they're doing it to bring awareness to stuff like this. See, and these clips are so outrageous. That's why I picked them. That's why I'm playing them. They're so outrageous. It's like, man, this can't be real. But the simple fact that we live in a world where this is content that somebody will put out, and we have to question whether or not this is real or not. Because we know that this happens every single day. The thing with the dude at the restaurant, that happens every single day. That's a real situation that's happening. People are putting their hands on people because of things like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, you got a children's park, man. Chill.
What do you say?
It's a kid park, man.
Yeah, do you even have any kids?
Yo,
right
just
at the
use
park?
the bathroom, man.
Y'all need to mind your business, first of all. Mind your business before y'all get included in some stuff you don't want to be included in.
No, you need to go. You need to go. Seriously.
No,
My daughter has to go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna allow you to come in the bathroom while she's gonna use the bathroom.
Not about the police.
That is
No,
not
that's
gonna
for
happen.
kids.
That's not gonna happen. I don't care what you talking about.
Please watch your kids at the park. Please pay attention to where they're going.
You can either leave or you can deal with it.
You gonna have to move. You gonna have to move.
Easy.
You gonna have to move.
Oh, no.
Now you being
Don't
So I don't believe that is real, but I do understand why somebody did this video. The whole part when dude said, please watch your kids at the park, is the reason why they made this video. Because there's reports of men in bathrooms with children at parks, or a mother took their child to the bathroom, and had she not went in there with her child, she wouldn't have discovered the man that was already in there in the single stall, one-off bathroom. So you send your kid to the park, to the bathroom at the park, and it's a dude in there. So I don't believe neither one of these last two clips are actual things that actually happened. But I do understand why we get this content. It's because it's, for one, the dating situation, like that whole thing. And be careful about these dating apps. Be careful about who you entertaining, and all of the reports and all of the things we hear about dudes getting home and they done laid down with another dude, and then they got up and done something to him. But see, on that type front, you go back to, if you wasn't out here being for the streets anyway, you ain't gonna run into that, because you ain't supposed to be out here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be out here seeking and destroying anyway. So when you play the game, now as far as the park thing, I mean, that's just a general public service announcement. Like, look, man, don't be so relaxed and lazy parenting, and just send your kid. And matter of fact, look, we take it a step further. Not even about don't watch your kids at the park. Don't just send your kids with just any uncle or aunt or cousin or neighbor, or have any, like, for real, you need to be more selective about the kids, about your friends' kids that come around your kids, because you don't know. Like, okay, if your friend done told you that they son or they daughter done been exposed to something, and then if they done confided in you, and the kid done had a bad experience. Now, this ain't to vilify the child, but this is to protect your child. You ain't got no business having that kid around your kid, private and alone. Me and Jamar was talking about this earlier, about how a lot of times that a lot of the things that we were exposed to, and we ain't had no business being exposed to. It was because the parents said, kids, y'all go upstairs, y'all go up here, and the parents we about to do what we gonna do, and y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man,
I came up in that culture, man, and
yeah.
I suffered damage, man, and that's what you know that's what perturbs me
Mm-hmm.
even more with me being in the school
Mm-hmm.
and these grown behind people
Mm-hmm.
who are LGBT. A lot of them get on these boards and
Mm-hmm.
make these rules and make these rulings because they want to be. I mean, I ain't saying this to vilify them, but they want to be recognized,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of this child who doesn't know. I mean, the child basically know what their pronoun is because that's what they teach them in school.
Right.
And
Right.
you messing them up if they already identify as a her or him or she or he.
Mm-hmm.
Now you getting these pronouns all mixed up, and the kids be like, no, 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 no. So now you're not gonna go according to what it is. It is plainly stated in the textbooks for years.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of a sudden you scratching that. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not what it said. That's what they call it. Toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Oh,
patriotic yeah,
anti-social. Mm-hmm.
yeah, patriotic society. And most of this stuff is being driven by feminists, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, women who and naturally, and then a lot of these women had bad experience with men, and they hate men, and they
Mm-hmm.
turn away from men and go into these lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they gonna do? What they gonna do with their with their anger and their bitterness?
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna disrupt society. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this has happened. This has happened before. Matter of fact, the word Lesbo came from a Greek a Greece island that was predominantly populated by women.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, they they want there's a lot of them believe that the first world was matriarch and the man was beneath the woman,
Hmm.
and they believe that. Well, you hear a lot of the stuff, a lot of the song that God is a woman, God is a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
But that's what they're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go back to Nimrod's mom,
Mm-hmm.
Semiramis.
Ramus. Yep.
Uh, she she was the one that had the power to change the man's sex to a woman. And the
Mm.
way the men had worshipped her, they're dressed up in drag and
Yeah.
they castrated themselves
Mm.
to identify that they were priests of Semiramis. So therefore, they, women who follow this cult are basically right now trying to propagate this philosophy
Mm-hmm.
to dilute the traditional sex of heterosexuality.
Yeah.
And they're saying, no, no, that doesn't exist because initially the first woman, listen how, listen how this sounds. So if the first woman had a son,
Mm-hmm.
so what's that saying? What's that saying? The
Mm.
first woman had a son.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying this woman in turn had a son and turned around and started having children from the same son?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that the women at one point didn't need a man to have a child.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's some women out here that believe that, bro.
I mean, everything that we didn't went over tonight so far is like unbelievable stuff, but people believe it. People
Yep,
like
yep.
like like
They do.
like come on, man. Like first off, what self-respecting man is going to put on women's heels to show solidarity with women and emasculate themselves? And like that's like how do you even feel? And then the thing with the dude with the fake muscles, it's like, you really spent money for that? People do it. People do it. People get calf implants. They you know what I'm saying? They even I mean,
Boob implants, butt implants. They got all everything.
right. So I mean, the enemy has the world in such a twisted.
Same way I was saying Wednesday. He turned everything upside down.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, and to think the dude with the muscles ain't the first time we saw somebody with that. It's mass people I seen with that. But I brought it up tonight because I'm like, why is like what is he doing? So yeah.
Hey Reed, can you get a chance? You get a chance. Matter of fact, what we talking about is kind
Yeah.
of a fulfillment. What's it? Genesis, when Adam and Eve sinned, God had gave um, well, although man was like already first, but when God, because of what they did, man said, where God said that Adam and Eve worked from the sweat of their brow, but then He said that the women, he said, hold on, let me get the scripture.
Ain't that Genesis 3?
Um, Genesis 3, yeah, Genesis 3. Um, he shall rule over you, and you shall desire to rule over him. Hold on. He said, unto the woman he said, this Genesis 16, said, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and thy conception, and so thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over me. But now, that right there, that was set by God.
So
Now, now,
the ESV say your
yeah,
desire shall be contrary to your husband, but he shall
husband
rule over you.
rule over you. Yeah, yeah. Meaning she will desire, that will always be her desire to rule over the man,
Right.
but he shall
She'll
rule
be
over you.
yeah, right. And she right.
Yeah. So that's what we see, bro. Fulfillment of that scripture.
Yeah.
That's what the Jezebel, Lilith,
Yeah.
all of these um Kali, all of these man killing goddess gods,
Mm-hmm.
because Kali killed, she used to behead all the men. Um, there's a couple of female goddesses
Mm-hmm.
that destroyed the man. In the same category, Medusa. But what the
Mhm.
story was behind Medusa somehow wouldn't turn her into to hate men. She was a priestess of I can't remember which goddess, and the god raped her
Mm.
and took her virginity, and then she became bitter. This bitter um um goddess with snakes, and anytime she would see a man, she would turn him into stone.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a story behind her, So when you're looking at a lot of these feminist group, a lot of these women were abused
Yeah.
either physically or sexually by men.
Yeah.
That's why they hate. That's why they hate men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a great segue to the next topic. And the next topic is titled, where is it? Huh. Bad Marriage for Life. Right? You heard about what's going on with these guys, right?
Yeah, I heard. She came out and said that they were separated since 2016,
Man.
and they had an open marriage. I guess I think they had an open marriage since that time. No, I don't have no. Haven't heard the recent thing about it. Go ahead.
I remember hearing that they had an open marriage in 05, 06, 07 type time.
Wow, that's crazy.
So let's hear what old Jada got to say.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago.
And so the reason why I stopped it right there, it wasn't a divorce, but it was a divorce. And the reason why that's so major is because Will has basically explained that he hates. I even in his book and in interviews over the last few years, he talked about how his first marriage and divorce like really did him bad. He swore he'd never get married again. I mean, divorced again, and no matter what, we ain't getting divorced. But then you have his wife here saying we didn't get divorced, but we got divorced. We've been divorced.
Now,
Yes.
Wow.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. That's amazing. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot?
Line. You don't keep it hot, y'all. You ain't together.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm baffled, really.
Yeah, right.
Over the next several years, Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend. Neither let the public know they had already split.
So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker,
I am.
except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership.
Man, yeah. So we done with that one.
Confusion, man.
You know, when the whole entanglement thing jumped off, and she was sitting there talking about how, you know, she got into it with August, and it was new, and I wanted to feel good. It was so long since I felt good. I just wanted to feel good. The flesh.
But isn't that bizarre? But isn't that bizarre? I mean, still isn't that bizarre? Because you go back to Colossians. I mean, no, Corinthians. You know, Paul was dealing with it. I mean, the church was dealing with a similar situation where the stepmother was sleeping with the stepson.
Mm.
So I mean, it's like these things happened before, but it just seemed like to us it's bizarre, but it's nothing new
Yeah.
under the sun.
Yeah.
You know, all we got is technology. Technology is just making it more. Technology and social media and all of that. It's just making it more, available to the public now.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Yeah.
the really crazy thing about it is that she said a big reason why she did what she did with August was because she was helping. I really love helping people and healing people, but she didn't do none of that with him. It's like, it's crazy that you're that delusional and you really think and you would really say that, I just wanted to help somebody. It's like, no, he talked about how devastating that was and how hard that was for him. You didn't help him. You hurt. You damaged.
But look at the crazy thing about it. I think Will's son,
Mm-hmm.
Will actually brought him as a child. That was Will's son,
Yeah.
best friend, and
Yeah.
she brought him in the house, and I think he was staying in the house. So that was still kind of bizarre of her
Yeah.
to sleep with her son's
Right.
best friend and a young man that her husband brought in the house to
Right.
mentor and
Right.
basically to help. And you portrayed him. I mean, I mean, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because for one, y'all was supposed to be helping this young man. I think
Yeah.
he was on drugs or something like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
then
Depression, anxiety, drugs.
he was sick or
Yeah.
something was going on, and
Yeah.
then you took advantage of him. Okay, although y'all marriage wasn't where it was, y'all was separated, quote unquote, but y'all was supposed to be working on each other, and then you did a low blow like that.
Why not get, like, she made a comment and said the reason why they separated or they divorced, technically not they divorced physically but not legally. The reason why was because they got tired of trying, which
Yeah,
that puzzles me, because if if you're married and the marriage is bad and you stay married, one of the reasons why you stay married, you stay in a bad marriage, is because you're trying to work it out. You're still working on it.
yeah, yep, yep. That's what you're
So
supposed to do.
I mean, I don't like, I don't, I really, I don't, I really don't get it. Like, I mean, and Will is a lot more private than she is, and we only know what we know because she talking.
Yeah, she putting it out. She putting it out there.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, I
Bino
mean,
talked about this earlier, like, man, this is common. This happens all the time. We just hear about it.
But even what was more humiliating is that this man got to compete with a dead man,
Oh,
and his daughter wrote a letter
come on,
and
man.
said, "Tupac, if you are alive, please reveal yourself so you can come and heal my mother.
She needs you.
She needs you." Can you imagine what that did to Will?
Will said he was competing with Tupac the whole time.
The whole time.
And this whole press run she on right now is about she's putting out a book, and in the book she says she confesses that Tupac proposed to her while he was in jail. So whether or not this part of the All Eyes on Me movie was real, when they painted Tupac and Jada's relationship like they was together like that, Jada was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I don't like how they did it. It wasn't all like that. It was a lot more. It was a lot more special than that." I don't, people don't be telling the truth, so I don't know exact. But when you reveal that he proposed to you while in jail, it's like, come on, man. Who proposes to somebody and they ain't got no sexual history? Come on, man.
But it was matter of fact, him and she and Tupac, I went to the same gifted and talented school in Maryland.
Yeah.
When they were young, that's how they met. And since then, she fell madly in love with Tupac the more.
I mean, she uses cryptic language around it. She say like he was kind of like a father figure and all of that. And that's another thing. Broken because she didn't know her father. Her mother was on heroin her whole life.
But I mean, so how is Tupac gonna be a fatherly figure? And
he ain't had no father.
No, not only that, they basically almost was the same age.
They was the same age. Yeah.
So how you could be a father figure to like that? Wow, that's crazy.
Well, because they're in the business. You talking about two actors. You talking about two actors. You talking about somebody that want to keep up appearances, and who knows who knows what they're telling the truth about. But it really ain't about whether I didn't bring this up to really delve into whether or not they're telling the truth and what's real.
Yeah.
The whole point is this is not marriage.
No.
This is not marriage goals. This is not relationship goals. These Hollywood people and this for real, you'll be hard pressed to find somebody that you would want to model your marriage after, because I don't know many people in my life that I would say are have been or are successfully married. You know what I'm saying? Not my parents. I mean, I don't know many people that I would.
But I ain't cutting you off, but didn't Paul say that this will show you that the signs that we are in the last days?
Mm-hmm.
When he said this in 1 Timothy 4, the Spirit speaking expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing doctrines, spirits, and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy. Look at what hypocrisy is.
Mm-hmm.
Hypocrite is a pretender, actor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Who we talking about? Two, just like you said, they're two actors.
Two actors.
Uh, Two actors having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding the marriage, meaning they're not taking marriage seriously.
Right.
You know, they don't see marriage as a sacred bond before God.
Yeah.
Commanding people to abstain from meats. You know, the vegan craziness and all of this stuff going on. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, all of this stuff is happening all at one, and so, and it's so on point that you call this bizarro world,
Mm-hmm.
because this is bizarre. All of these are bizarre stuff. Well, another word God calls, say, it's an abomination. He said the wicked are abomination. Their ways are abomination to him.
I mean, it go back to what the conversation we was having on Kingdom Culture about the design and how the order of things and how we're supposed to do things. Like, everybody wants to do everything that God created, but they want to do it their way. People want to do marriage their way. Like, they talked about how Jada never wanted to get married. She cried going down the aisle. Why are you marrying her? You're thinking, and we've all made the mistake of getting with somebody thinking that we can change them, convincing them to be somebody that they're not, something that they said that they told you they didn't want this. She told you she ain't want no kids. You married her anyway. Now you pissed off 5 years down the road because she don't want to have no babies. She told you she wasn't trying to have no, she don't want no kids. Why you salty? Because you couldn't change her? So, and that's the bizarre, crazy part about it, is that you mad and your whole world is destroyed because somebody is being exactly who they showed you they were from the beginning. And you just ignored it.
But you know what? You know the crazy thing about it? She wanted kids, but he just wasn't the one that she wanted the kids with.
Well,
The one that she, the one she wanted yeah, the one she wanted the kids with is the one that she's obsessed with,
Right.
and he's no longer here.
Right.
So she sees Tupac more as the alpha male,
mm-hmm.
and Will as a beta male.
Yeah.
That's why she don't respect him.
And then look, when you brought up the feminists and the matriarchy and all of that. Look, so she's woman hear me roar, right? And I want to play on trail, and I'm gonna keep Jada Pickett. My name gonna be Jada Pickett Smith. It ain't gonna just be Jada Smith because I'm me and I need my identity. Well, too bad, because you married one of the biggest movie stars of all time. You're never gonna be just Jada Pickett no more. You're every and then look, this so crazy. Y'all got divorced and you wanted your own identity and you wanted all this stuff separate and you wanted to figure it out and you just wanted to go do your thing. Like Will said, just go do you and go figure out what makes you happy and go figure that out or whatever. You know what? For real, I pray that they do figure it out. I pray they get saved. I pray they surrender, and I pray that they rekindle. Not rekindle. I pray that they have something that they never had, which is a kingdom marriage. That's what I pray. But you did all of this, all these things to erect your statue when Red Table Talk was a success because of Will Smith. Everything that you can't ever get. It's just like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Michelle, I don't care what you do to Barack, where you go, you gonna always be Michelle Obama. Ain't nothing you
Yeah.
can't get away from it. You're gonna always
Yeah.
be Jada Pinkett Smith. Your book, she's about to be a New York Times best-selling author. Why? Because Will Smith
Because
is in
of
it.
Will. Because of Will Smith.
So look at what the enemy did. The enemy destroyed your whole marriage and put turmoil. He made you partner up with him because you wanted to blaze your own trail and have your own thing and and it's all linked. And look how he's going to torment you because it's all linked to Will. You can't get away from it.
And look and think about it, man. Isn't that the three temptations that Satan offered Christ?
Mm-hmm.
I will give you all the kingdoms of the world if you bow down and worship me.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep on saying, I'm building a brand. I'm building an image. What that said? What commandment is that? Thou should not have what?
Any idols?
No, any idols, no other God before me. If you building your brand, you making yourself into an idol, and basically that's what Semiramis, the ideology of Semiramis. There's no God outside of me. I am God. There's no sky God, because a lot of them say that there's no sky God. We came from the cosmos. We are the gods. And that's the way they talk. I mean, you can hop on another couple. You know who they are. You know who the two couples are. One can't be one without the other. That's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
You know? Same scenario. Same scenario. Same scenario. If you talk about you talk bad about Beyonce, who gonna come after you? The Beehive. Yeah? You talk bad about Jay-Z, who's gonna come after you? 5%. Nation of Islam. All of these, black, pro-black, on God, organizations, all of them, they're gonna come at you too because what? They see these people as deities, or what you call demigods. And then basically they are the modern demigods. That's what, matter of fact, that's what celebrity means. A demigod.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Man, when you said something. What was it? I didn't want to cut you off. I was gonna type it down, but I forgot it. That's what I was gonna say. Like I said earlier, that people want to walk in the things of God, but they want to do it their way. Man, for real, marriage don't even exist if God ain't in it. It really ain't. I mean, but see, and this is the whole thing. If you ain't saved and you get married, it's still a marriage and it's still the combining of two flesh becoming one, but it's all under an evil, wicked covenant. So if you get married and you're unsaved, prayerfully, hopefully y'all get saved. When you get saved, it's almost like you had to get married all over again in the spirit, because that old marriage is carnal. It ain't like it don't even do. I always wonder this. Do God even respect a marriage that's not a kingdom marriage?
Well, going to what Paul was kind of breaking down in the 7th chapter of Corinthians, he covered that about the unbelieving wife and the unbelieving husband, or the unbelieving husband and the unbelieving wife. And she desires to follow you and stay with you don't divorce them. But if she wants to divorce, then or he wants to divorce, then y'all depart. You're not under any bondage because, like you said, the word already said to be unequally yoked with unbelievers.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go back. You can go back to the book of Ezra.
Yeah.
What did Ezra told all of them men when they married those Sumerian women? He said, "You got to divorce these women," and they had a massive ceremony where they had to divorce these women,
Mm.
and they had kids. That's
Yeah.
how the Sumerian race was the half Jew Sumerian. That's why they hate each other because
Right.
of that one incident that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, because God told him, no, you're not supposed to marry these people anyway.
Right.
I told you not to marry them anyway.
Yeah.
So because of that, you suffered, and reason being why God said He hates divorce. It's not necessarily because of the husband and the wife. Is
Mhm.
what it's going to do to the next generation, the children.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because I mean, I went through it myself, and I see what it. I mean, and it's because of a decision that I made.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
got into an unequally yoked situation.
Yeah.
So I mean, so what you're saying is so true because it is true.
Yeah.
Marriage is sacred, man.
Yeah.
That's why he said marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled, but fornicators and adulterers he shall judge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man. It's so powerful, man. This is
Yeah.
powerful, man.
So for the last topic of the night, we can't come back and do Bizarro World without touching on what's going on over there in the Middle East. A call for global jihad. So if you thought this is something isolated, it has no implications, or we just need to let them do what they're gonna do. We don't need to be worried about it. Don't be tuned in. Man, listen, and I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I just want everybody to be aware, pay attention. I'm not jumping out the tree and siding with any political party. I'm not siding with the Israeli government or the Palestinian government. I understand that, what I'm saying, it's innocent people that's being killed on both sides and ain't got nothing to do with none of this. You know what I'm saying? So I pray for the people, for the innocent people, for the children, for the ladies, for just the people. But it's interesting how these types of things translate and how they have major blowback and major effects on our lives here. What does all this mean for us? So,
Well, my take is I see it as what Jesus was saying about Matthew 24.
Mhm.
He said there will be rumors, and wars and rumors of war
Mhm.
in the land, and he also said until the fig tree bud, and meaning Israel becoming a nation.
Yeah.
All of these stuff is prophesied in the Bible. So what we've seen is the scrolls being unfold before us. Going back to what we were saying earlier, how this union, all of this stuff happened in the U.S. and in Israel right now. It's because an unethical covenant
Yeah, exactly.
That Abraham and his wife servant,
Yep.
they had a son
Yep.
that God did not ordain, and because of that, God blessed both nations, and God said that Ishmael will be like a wild donkey of a man, and it won't be. He will be a warmonger, and he won't be able to get along with nobody. And what's going on over there now? You talk about worldwide jihad. They made this day right here the jihadist day, where anytime it falls on this, they're gonna go jihad on the infidels.
Mm-hmm.
The infidel meaning great Satan, meaning America.
Mm-hmm.
Any Americans get caught over there, they're gonna execute them.
Yeah.
You know, you know, and so all of this stuff is a result of bad covenants that were made in the past
Mm-hmm.
that's unfold, or just like we were saying, or just like I was saying earlier, it doesn't affect the man and the woman. It affects his seed
Yeah.
afterward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it's not. We can't afford to have our head in the sand and not know what's going on. And I had
Yeah.
like my brother called me today, and he was like, "Man, what you think about what's going on? Like, you think it's this and that?" And he was talking about, I think certain how much of revelation you think has happened now, and we was having that conversation. I'm like, man, you know, uh I don't. I believe when we see things play out from Revelation, it's not going to be a question of whether or not something's playing out or something's happening. God, see, the enemy has fooled people into being desensitized from spiritual things and thinking that God does everything in a whisper. He does everything that God does is a mystery. No, God flooded the earth boldly.
Yeah.
Jesus came boldly. It like they act like it was most people was like, is he is this? No. Jesus told you that the Pharisees and scribes, he knew their heart, and he knew that they knew who he was, yet they crucified him. See, God is not a ninja. He's not moving in the shadows. There's no mistaking what God is doing. So I just said that to say about, Revelation and how things are happening, and if we're in a certain part of this, that, and that. If you're unsure, just sit back and pay attention, because God speaks loudly. He don't sneak nothing in. You ain't gonna have to figure it out when he does whatever he's going to do next. Just pay attention, read your word, pray, study, and then pay. But see, another thing is, people want, while God is not whispering and doing everything in the background, you may still not be privy to what's going on because you ain't paying attention. Because you ain't got your ear to the street. You don't read newspapers. You don't watch the news. You ain't out in the world. You ain't reaching the people, touching the people, and moving the people. You just in your echo chamber. You just go to your church. You got to be out and live and to actually see what's going on. So go ahead, Al.
Yeah, just like you were saying, the analogy of the ostrich with his head in the dirt, but in actuality, that's not true. Ostriches don't do that. But the parody is telling you, no, don't be a coward, right? Because the Bible said cowards should have their part in the lake of fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a time for you as a believer, to have your head in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time that you should be glorifying God and out there witnessing and
Yep.
being, and seeing this as an opportunity of revival and bringing souls to the kingdom of God, because when I preached at my church,
Mm-hmm.
crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the thick of what the Bible was saying.
Yep.
It's so close. I
Yep.
mean, look at it, man. Everything is coming. Everything is coming to a head.
Yeah.
When they were saying it wasn't giants, what's going on now? All of
Mm-hmm.
these videos coming out of petrified mountains, petrified trees,
Yep.
petrified uh, giants, people going into caves, cutting off rocks that look like muscles and flesh.
Yep.
They're cutting off the inside the abdomen of the cavity of the giant,
Mm-hmm.
giving more proof. They're seeing the big, like 20 feet long swords and these big gigantic books and stuff. Like, okay, you asking the question, who wrote these things? But it's just showing you that we're looking at a movie screen and everything's being unfold right before our eyes.
Yep.
Why are you in doubt? Because look at what Jesus said in Matthew. Going back to what Jesus said in Matthew, he said, Matthew 24, it said the days will be like the days of Noah. What happened? Marriage, giving in the marriage. What's going on right now? They're redefining marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yep.
redefining marriage. They're redefining gender. They basically trying to wipe out everything
Yep.
that God ordained and flipping it on his head.
Yeah.
You know, and we know who's behind that. The hand of enemy, because the Bible said he has to do these things now because he has a short time. He has a short time to do these things.
I said this earlier, and you are really illustrating and you echoing everything me and Bino was talking about earlier. And I said this to Bino. I said, man, if we spoke about God in more extreme ways, it would affect how we handled him and how we approached him. Like sometimes I try to make a habit of calling God master in my prayer, because it moves my heart to a certain position to acknowledge him as master, as king. You know what I'm saying? It humbles me to say it. And in the same sense, as we look at the enemy like a psychopath, he's a rabid dog, savage animal.
Wow.
He's a psycho. He's a lunatic.
Yep.
Like, not just, he an enemy. He a devil. He is a psycho.
Psychopath. Yep.
He's a psychopath. He's a murderous, wicked, twisted, perverted, psychotic, demented
individual.
Look through your mind and think of the craziest person that you either know or that you can remember from history, and he's that times a million.
Yeah, people just go ahead.
The only thing stopping earth from being literal hell on earth is that the Holy Spirit is here.
Yep. In the church. The Holy Spirit.
Literally, if you dare to take your mind to the deepest, darkest recesses of the worst, the unimaginable things that happen, every day. The things that we hear, and it break your heart that somebody did this to a child, or did this to a woman, or came into this village and did this. These things happen every day all over the world, and not in just little spurts. I mean, it's outbreaks of these. I mean, remember Hotel Rwanda in the 90s? Like, I remember going to see the movie, and it was night, and they was driving in the Jeep, and they thought they ran off the road because it was bumpy. And when they turned on the lights, they was running off. The road was full of bodies.
Bodies. Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's crazy.
The enemy is a psychopath. There is nothing you can do to line up with him and come out advantageous. It's not like you hitting a lick with little man down the block. And if he a snake, but if you snake him before he snake you, you might can win and come out. No, everything is a trap. Everything is poison. Everything is destructive and demented. Everything is toxic. Everything is for your death and downfall and destruction. It's built into it. You don't have an advocate in the enemy.
No.
The things that you think you do alone quietly, he is a snitch and a witness against you. He's the accuser of the brethren.
Yep.
It ain't no such thing as is having a secret of doing something in secret. He can't wait to expose you. He just wants you to dig deeper, so when he exposes you, it's worse. You can't come back from it. You're so mentally and spiritually destroyed. It's like it's like somebody when they come home from jail and they beat down and they just don't have no confidence, and they don't even try getting a job, and they don't even try because they done missed 30, 40 years, and their kids reject them and their grandkids, and it's just like, man, it ain't even worth it. I don't even, because he got you so demoralized that ain't no coming back.
Well, I mean, that's just like, that's just like, I don't know the rapper name now. It's a rapper, Chicago rapper, that went in there masculine, hard, and then when he came out, totally emasculated. I mean, they got footage. They got footage.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they got footage of him with men, and I like, yo. So now, when just like you saying, when he come out here now, he ain't coming back out the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, totally demoralized. He can't hide it no more. That's who he is. But God can clean him up, but still, you got to still deal with the fact that people are still out there talking about you. It's just like the adult industry.
Yeah.
Mothers can be out there, and the kids go to school like, oh, I saw your mama. Da, 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 da. It's your mama, such and such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can imagine how demoralized that child is.
Yeah.
That they know they saw my mom doing all these, demoralizing things with these different men, and can you imagine what that does to your child?
Yep.
And this goes back to what I was saying. It doesn't affect you. It affects your children more than it goes deep into your DNA.
Yeah.
When Adam and Eve sinned, the sin just didn't affect them. It went into their DNA and affected all of their offspring.
It totally changed. It changed them at a molecular level. It changed everything about them.
Yep.
So let's so I got an interesting take, and something that I just want to point out to the people
Go ahead, bro.
and I got a couple videos to show to illustrate my point. And and just to basically set the table is we need to pay attention. No politician has the answer. We should be moving and making moves and making decisions based off of the best avenue for the kingdom to be advanced. As far as Christians, I ain't talking to black people. I ain't talking to white people. I ain't talking to the hood. I'm talking to the kingdom. Kingdom people, we need to get rid of racial idolatry, tribalism, all of these different things that separate us and make it hard for you to make a decision locally, in your government, politically, socially, relationally, all of these different things that we filter through the world first. We need to have a kingdom mindset and surrender all things to the Father and be able to make these decisions based on what is going to be the best avenue to travel down so that we can continue to be salt and light as long as possible to hold off this tyrannical whatever government, the enemy, the psychopath, the dragon. The dragon is a psychopathic savage. So, we're going to touch on this real quick. So, why is the border being overflown with immigrants important for America?
Migrant crossings at the southern border have nearly doubled from the last few months. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is now calling for more buses to relocate asylum seekers to Democratic-run cities. Manuel Bojorquez has more from El Paso, Texas.
They arrive by any means necessary, on top of trains, pulled from under barbed wire, or across the Rio Grande, sometimes with deadly consequences. The strain of more than 8,000 a day.
8,000 a day.
Crossing the border is moving north to cities like San Antonio, where overflowing shelters mean some migrants sleep outside.
Migrants that we have encountered here in this area are trying to evade arrest.
We rode along with Customs and Border Protection agents who say they've conducted more than 500 rescues in the El Paso sector over the last year. Migrants often left in bad shape by cartels.
These migrants have been walking for a little while. So our agents' response at that time, in that moment, was crucial because they were lost.
The majority of the migrants are from Venezuela, which is a country with very limited diplomatic ties with the United States. What does that mean? Well, it's not as easy to deport or repatriate people. That poses other challenges, says Ruben Garcia, who runs an El Paso shelter.
If they get released by Border Patrol and you ask them, do you have a family member, relative, friend in the U.S. that can receive you? Many of them do not.
Desiree Pastra, Francisco Araujo, and their two girls are among the lucky ones who have a relative in Houston they'll stay with. But the month-long journey has left them physically and emotionally scarred.
Yo sé que para usted es difícil.
Tremendo.
You're feeling a lot.
Manuel Bojorquez joins us now. I want to just drill down on a couple of points in your package. So if migrants are turned back, how do they reach these so-called designated entry points?
Well, a lot of it is word of mouth, and we got to see this firsthand yesterday when we traveled to Ciudad Juarez, just on the other side of the border. There was a group that was turned away by Border Patrol because they were told this is not a port or point of entry where you can ask for asylum. And then they basically just kind of followed others, heard about a place under some fence where you could go, and there was a big group gathered there, and that was assigned to them that this was a place where they could say they want asylum and then be processed.
So it sounds like it's very haphazard, probably not without some risk. So the Biden administration has sent 800
Absolutely.
additional troops, of course, to Texas. What are authorities there asking for? Is this enough support?
I think it depends on who you ask. You have Governor Greg Abbott, who at this point is sending more buses down here to move migrants north. who would probably say that's not enough. He has criticized the federal government for, in his view, not doing enough to secure the border and to prevent people from coming up the way they are. But when you talk to some of the engineers.
So that's that for that one. So why is that important? Well, because, hold on, let me get this out. Where did it go? Because where are they gonna go? They busing them to these sanctuary cities, and one thing that we need to understand is that they're conveniently showing Spanish looking people. Those ain't the only people that's coming through. Everybody is coming through. The border been wide open. They just said, we just showed you. They said 8,000 plus people per day. They're sending busloads and busloads and busloads to Chicago, to New York, to LA, to all these places. And they don't, like, they're sending them to major cities that already have a homeless problem. How are you going to allow more people in the country, more homeless people? We have a homeless problem here. So how many people did it take to pull 9/11 off? Not thousands, not hundreds. There's thousands of people pouring in.
Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier, and I was saying, with Hamas right now, with all of the protesters popping off in the streets now because in America because of what's going over, the American, Israeli, and American Jews, in uproar. Can you imagine? A lot of these secret cells coming through here, people who posing as immigrants, come in this country and set up camp, and the next thing you know, you got it over here. Because they already declared nationwide jihad. So how you think they're gonna pull that off?
How you think they're gonna pull it off?
We bring people in here masquerading as homeless people seeking asylum, and they already got plants over here already.
Yeah.
Already making plans, targeting this, targeting that. And next thing you know, you got total chaos. I mean, granted, man, they say we have a overpopulation problem. World is not overpopulated.
No, it ain't.
Because
it's
already been it's under manners, and then everybody's just concentrated in a secluded area, and because there's a map. I don't know, people don't normally go to Google, but the state of Texas alone can house the whole entire population on the planet.
Man, listen, I don't need no map for that. I'm a truck driver. I done drove all through Texas, north, south, east, and west. And
you massive ones.
Man, man, Alan, you can drive for 6, 7, 8 hours through Texas and don't see nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's that's like they say it's overpopulated. Nah, it's underdeveloped. If they developed more of this land in these places for people to live, it's plenty of room. Just like you
Plenty
said,
of room. Yep.
whole
Yep.
country could live in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's check this next piece of this situation out.
So I just want to be clear first. To be clear, we are not upset with the individuals who are being allowed to cross the borders into America. Let me make that very clear because people get it confused. We are, however, outraged with the government's response and our.
Now, this is Chicago. These are all people that voted for the officials that's allowing this. Y'all voted for this. You asked for this. Now, a couple years ago, you was talking about ain't no such thing as it shouldn't be no borders and no indigenous and blah blah blah. Anybody should be able to come here and all of that. Oh, really? Okay.
Our elected officials, blatant disregard to the local crisis Black families and children are facing now in our city.
Where you thought they was gonna send them to?
Hello. Hello. They're not going to those other cities.
They ain't
And
going
most democratic cities are funded and ran by them and populated by Black and brown people. So where you think they're gonna send them?
So
I mean, this is worse. This is worse than redlining, man.
So when they send them to, worse than redlining. So when they send them to your city, whose resources are they gonna suck up?
The people who are already there.
And just like you, I think you was touching on, you ain't go all the way into it, but the people that's cheerleading for Hamas and just to be contrary, just to be anti-establishment or anti-something, just to be to go against the grain, man, them people don't own nothing. They don't pay no taxes. Those are the people that want everything for free. Those are the people that want everybody to come in and be somewhere for free because you don't own nothing, because you ain't building nothing, because you don't understand what your taxes are for. You don't understand that you should be demanding to see what your city is spending the money on and all of the like. Look, let's let the people speak. Let's see what they got to say.
It is disingenuous and highly disrespectful to come into neighborhoods that have suffered decades of disinvestment, redlining, poverty, and violence to tell them you're taking resources away only to give it to another group of people that you allowed to cross the border illegally. How dare you put these poor people?
Oh, now it's illegal. So first, we ain't against nobody. Look, we ain't against nobody seeking asylum and these poor people, but they're illegal. We ain't mad at the people coming here. We mad at the people that let y'all come here. Come on, man. See, I mean, you want to be politically correct. They taking the school in your neighborhood that they done shut down, and they busing your kids to a hole across town, and they making a homeless shelter out of this school that they done shut down. Like, they taking your park, pay taxes for. Your kids can't play. Now it's gonna be another tent city, and you know what's the not cold-blooded, like, ooh, they dirty, but cold-blooded, like, ooh, watch this. This is what y'all asked for. This is what you really want. They busing all these people to Chicago who they from the south, where it's summertime all the time. They don't know nothing about no Chicago winter.
Winters, yeah. You can imagine the lives going to be lost during the winter months when these people, when all of these bitter cold come and they out and about, man. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't remember what city in India. I think it's Bombay. Man, you talk about homeless. no room. They got people living. I mean, they living on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But you can imagine a lot of our cities in the future is going to look just. Hey, listen, man. If you look at the movie Mad Max,
Yeah.
and you look at the movie Mad Max, what's the Denzel movie? Book
Book
of
of Eli.
Book of Eli, Book of Eli,
Mm-hmm.
bro. This is where we headed. This is where we headed, bro.
My wife was
This is
talking.
where we headed.
My wife was
This
talking
is
about
where we
something
headed.
she was watching earlier about Russia might be dropping a
Yeah,
electromagnetic.
electromagnetic bomb. Yeah, yeah. They already talk about China and But
Russia.
get this, bro. You know why? And there's a lot of people don't understand. It was said reason why they're burning Maui down is because of a lot of the elites are going over there to hide, included the politicians, a lot of these ones that committed these crimes, a lot of these ones that's doing the child trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
they're all running out there. They're all running to hide because they know that China is coming to claim her debt.
Mm-hmm.
Russia is coming to do whatever. And our streets is going to be overran with these soldiers with blue helmets, UN helmets. You
Mm-hmm.
see these videos with all of these UN tanks
Mm-hmm.
on trains going into these major cities.
Yep.
That ain't by accident, bro.
Yeah.
That is not by accident. That's by design because it's already put in plain that the whole world is going to be ruled by sectors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be United States of America, South America, Mexico. They're all going to be Sector One, Sector Two, Sector Three, Sector Four. Good movie to look at is um, survival games. What they call it?
Hunger
The
Games.
survival game movies.
Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Game movie. Hunger Game. That's a movie. That's a movie right there. Is telling you what these elites is coming up to, and the deadline is 2030, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, man, listen, man. We are in for a serious ride. If you're not ready, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it.
Against us, especially because the very reason you claim they're here to seek asylum is the same reason and terror and injustice Black people face today. Chicago is working on an issue without addressing the current issue that it has with the communities that are suffering. And we're seeing resources fly out to help, but we're not getting that same type of support at the magnitude we're seeing now.
Of course.
And to expect us to foot the bill and hand over our already limited resources, public parks and school buildings that have been unjustly closed in the first place. Now you're putting a strain on our police officers and stations, obstructing their ability to do their jobs, serve our community, and our community to go into police stations to receive services. In addition, it's inhumane to welcome people.
They got these people living in police stations, fire stations, parks, old schools, even some the airports. They got them at the airport.
Wow.
It's like it's not just like, oh, they down the street and they in this park. They're the whole system is stressed by what they're doing. And it's like, man, it's like you get like the government, like y'all got to be, they got to purposely be doing this. It's so,
Totalitarian.
It's so retarded. It's so retarded what they doing. It's like, ain't no, like, y'all doing this on purpose. Y'all know.
Totalitarian.
Yeah.
They're setting it up for you know who, right? And when he come on the scene, everything gonna be in chaos. And they say, "Hey, we got the secret, but you got to take this mark in order to get this, in order to get that."
Yep.
You know, that's what we had, man. This is exactly what we had.
Let's hear a little bit more her, and then I got one final video.
People, only to have them sleeping on floors in buildings and in tents that cannot withstand the wind of Chicago. Brandon Johnson ran on the promise that he would listen to our community. And in the beginning of this crisis stated that he would not re-traumatize those communities that are still suffering from the impact of school closing, red line, and violence. We are here today demanding that the city of Chicago and Brandon Johnson stop disrupting park programs, taking away from our children and families that depend on those services. We want him to stop using public school buildings as housing because they're not zoned as such. And specifically for this building was promised to the community, and our children deserve a high school. A high school, we want to reopen this as one because we do not have a neighborhood high school. That school over there is not a neighborhood school. It's a selective enrollment that actually restricts our neighborhood kids from going. So that's a violation of our civil rights, and we want this building. We pay taxes for it.
They don't care nothing about you niggas. They got an agenda, and y'all voted and put them in office. Shut up.
We are also demanding a full independent audit of how our tax money is being spent.
That's right.
We still have a homeless crisis. Black Americans have the highest rate of homelessness, including youth. We want to know how they're being housed, if they're being housed, what money is being spent on them. We need to know.
They ain't open up no school for the black homeless people in Chicago.
Nope. Why you think they're gonna do it for you? I mean, these people, man.
Yeah, man. So, and to close out this segment, which is the last segment of the show, the whole point of what I'm talking about. What do we do? How do we even as Christians when you know, I can remember in scripture where Jesus sent the disciples to go buy this, go buy 2 swords.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be vigilant. We have to have a pure heart. We can't be stupid. We can't be casual. We can't just take what's going on for, well, I ain't gonna worry about it. That's their business. It ain't that serious. My water came on just fine today. You know what I mean?
For right now, I mean, when the bricks come in, the bricks and the dollar change, and the price of food going hike up, and we got all these people and all this mouth to feed, and the resources is not there. What you think is going to happen? A famine. Did not they say that that's what's going to be the next pandemic? A famine.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. We don't know how this whole thing is going to pan out. We don't know what we're going to be here for. The most unimaginable things happen. Like the rapture, or if you waiting on a rapture, pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib, whatever rapture you waiting on, it ain't happened yet. And guess what? The worst things imaginable are happening every day. Why can't it be America?
Yeah.
They have blackouts and droughts and famine, and they have places where the water. Come on, man, Flint, Michigan happened. I'm in Ohio. Flint, Michigan is 4 hours away from me, Alan. That's right up the road.
Imagine. I know.
That happened in the last 10 years here.
Yeah.
There's no good drinking water in a major in one of the top countries in the world.
Wormwood.
So while you have the people who are, I don't like guns, I don't want, we should ban all guns. Well, who's
gonna protect your kids, your wife and kids? How you gonna protect your wife and kids?
Man, the savage ain't giving up their guns.
And listen, man, they haven't even. I mean, you know how much inmates since they changed this law in California that they release. That and to imagine if they start emptying these prisons, and now there are residential prisons out there now. And now can you imagine this, instead of putting I'm not condescending, taking the violent criminals and the criminals out of prison and start replacing them with people who was not with the program.
Exactly. Well, people with the wrong speech, people with hate speech.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's going to happen. It's going to happen, bro. Because he's already on the scene, man. He's already on the scene. We haven't really seen nothing yet, bro.
Man, we have to take our health serious. We have to take our finances serious. We have to learn about gun safety and gun handling, and we have to learn how to
learn all of that, bro.
To plant, grow food. Subscribe to some survival channels on YouTube. Watch survival videos. Watch cultivating animal and livestock and gardens, and you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just live in the matrix and go to work every day and think that
getting solo panels and solar generators and all of these different things. Because man, listen, bro. Jesus said what he said, man. And I understand people not understanding what he said. He said, there will be comers, he said, there's day now. But there will come a time where night come and nobody will be able to work. You know, he was talking about dark times, bro.
We don't know.
Dark times is coming on this world, bro.
We don't know
like
what
we never
we're
seen it.
here for. You don't know if Jesus come back, if he gonna come back today or in 20 years. We don't know what we you know what I'm saying? So let's get into this Dan Bonagino.
Go ahead.
Listen, I said the title of today's show, keep your head on a swivel. That's not, I'm being dead serious, folks. There's a lot of intel coming in and out. A lot of very serious people. The situation in the United States is now at a DEFCON level. We haven't been at it a long time.
Yeah.
There are unquestionably cells operating in the United States right now that are ready to impart a lot of pain and death upon people of the United States. I'm going to say to you today, if you can avoid big cities, try to. At least until things maybe simmer down a little bit. If you can avoid big cities, I understand, but keep your head on that swivel.
Big cities, big gatherings, sports events, concerts, and all that. Pay attention to what's going on. We have an enemy.
Dirty bombs, dirty nukes, you know, chemical warfare, all of these things, mass weapons of destruction, man. Wow, bro.
They already talking about how Omicron is 100% lab created. They ain't even had it. They talking about it like,
keep your eyes open. Keep the Bluetooth headphones out of your ears. Everywhere you go, look at the exit. Look at it. You're sitting in a restaurant. I want you to understand there's an exit in the back of the kitchen. You're sitting in a movie theater. Try to stay somewhere where you can access an exit or sit near the end so you can get out quick. If you can arm yourself and protect yourself and you're willing to train with it, then do it. If you can't, I want you to understand that you could be a victim too. There's credible information out there, more than credible information, that some of these people, some of these savages are in the country right now. What they're planning to do, I don't know. There's some speculation that they're looking to buy rifles, maybe of the belt-fed variety, seek population centers, and do some damage like they did in California and Orlando. The fight is absolutely coming here, folks. Our border is absolutely out of control. We have no idea who's here right now. And clearly some of the people here want to do damage. I want you to listen to this. This is why Joe Biden is so incredibly dangerous right now. Joe Biden does not believe in anything, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden believes in whatever the radical left tells him to believe. The Ilhan Omars, the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders. Ilhan Omar, clearly a sympathizer with the savage. I went after her last night on Twitter because she doesn't know jack shit about this situation, yet she pretends to. Ilhan Omar is a sympathizer with the savage. There is nothing Joe Biden is more afraid of than the ire of the squad, because even though they're small in number, they command a large portion of the increasingly radical Democrat Party. Joe Biden believes in nothing. Nothing. He will do whatever they say. Here's proof for you. Here's a clip from decades ago. Here's Joe Biden talking about the border. And notice his language is really harsh. It seems almost common sense. Why would you play this, Dan? To show you this guy believes in nothing. Joe Biden at one point pretended to understand the perilous situation at the border and now does the opposite because Ilhan Omar is really the president of the United States. Check this out.
It makes sense that no great nation can be in a position where they can't control their borders. It matters how you control your borders, not just for immigration, but it matters for drugs, terror, a whole range of other things. Here's the conclusion I come up with, and it's sort of in equal parts. We have to, and I had been arguing for, when I'm back in my days as chairman of the Judiciary Committee and straight through and as the leader of the Foreign Relations Committee, I've been arguing for the need to put more protection at our borders, meaning that you have more border guards. This president, refusing to add the number of border guards, now said he has to send the National Guard down. He vetoed. He was against adding the number of border guards. I only can suggest the reason
he's literally talking about himself almost 15 years ago. This is crazy.
Is because he needed that money for his tax cuts that were unnecessary.
Joe said it right. Oatmeal Brains was a much better liar back then. A little more smooth in his lies. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a tweet by Bill Melugin, in case you think I'm making this up. Dan, keep your head in a swivel. Stop the hysteria. Really? Bill Melugin's a pretty nonpartisan guy. pretty good reporter for Fox. He's only been down at the border for like 3 years or so. I remember when he got hired at Fox. He's been down there a while. Border Patrol arrests some suspects on the FBI's terror watch list at the southern border. Don't worry, Joe, only 151 so far. So far, the year's not even over. And by the way, those are only the ones we
on the FBI's terror watch list.
You know about.
Wow.
Last year was 98, 21, 15, 23. Oh, look.
So they caught 151 this year so far. Those are just the ones that they caught. There's thousands upon thousands of people coming into the country every day.
Man, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I can't remember I think it was the middle of September. They showed a video, and these men didn't look like Hispanics.
Right.
They were all men, and they look Middle Eastern. They look Iranian. They look Pakistani. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like, yo, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this going on here? Yeah, man. Yeah.
Now we start getting back to the Trump era. 0, 6, and 2. Those are the ones we know about. How many people it take to pull off 9/11? 1,000? Nope. 500? Nope. 100? No, less than that. But don't worry, we know about almost 300 people here now that have crossed the border on the terror watches. No sweat, folks. No big deal. Listen, I worked a lot of cases when I was doing counterfeit money investigations, and I learned something about the border. Let me tell you what happens at the southern border. Ladies and gentlemen, the exact same mules trafficking kids for sex are trafficking drugs and traffic counterfeit money, and they also traffic terrorists. You know why? Anyone have a guess? Because
Money.
They care about something. What, morals and ethics? Hell no. Money. And if terrorists come from the triangle down south, the Hamptons in South America, the tri-border region, and want to cross, they pay the traffickers and they get right in. It's the same people, man. And they're all getting rich off Joe Biden's apathy at the border. Here's Trump on the border, though. He had something to say about this, and I'll recommend to the Trump team, if you're listening, make this the centerpiece of your campaign going forward. Dismantling the police state, redirecting it towards actual threats, and securing this border no matter what, or we're not going to have a country left. We need more talk like this. Make this the centerpiece of your campaign. Listen to this.
Back in the White House, I'll terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration and begin the largest deportation operation in American history. I'll also use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries. We'll do that immediately.
Stick to it, and you'll win. And you'll win big. Stick to it. Listen to me. Stay on message. Stay on message. Stay on message with this, and you can't lose. Get off message, and you may. Stay on message. This is what won you this race the first time. People are sick.
All right, that's all I wanted to go with that. So, why these videos? Why? What's the whole point? The whole point is pay attention and know what's going on, man. Like I'm not endorsing a political party.
Yeah.
I ain't Republican, Democrat, or none of that.
Yeah.
But we need to vote and move and make decisions that is in the kingdom's best interests.
Yeah. Kingdom agenda, man.
Kingdom agenda. And we cannot be we can't be emotional. We can't be tribal. We got to be kingdom. We got to know what's going on. This world. See, we are too distracted with our comfortable life, with our paved roads, with our street lights, and our Amazon, and our DoorDash, and our Grubhub, and all of our fat amenities that make life cushy and easy. When in the blink of an
Don't
eye,
forget entertainment. Don't forget entertainment.
internet, cell phones.
Yeah, distractions.
How
All
many of y'all,
distractions.
how many of y'all know how to use a paper map?
Wow.
Who remember MapQuest? Who remember MapQuest?
MapQuest.
Before you had GPS on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
See, about 20 years ago, GPS was expensive. You had to buy it and put it in your car.
Yeah.
It wasn't just.
I remember those. I remember those boxes you buy. Because I had one of them.
Yeah,
I had one of them.
GPS just wasn't standard on every cell phone.
Nope, sure wasn't.
Usually, I remember printing out MapQuest to go find something, or to go over to Shorty house, or travel down south. First road trip I took, and we got on the highway going to Atlanta. I printed out MapQuest, but I knew how to read it.
Know how to read the signs and stuff like that. I mean, because you travel, you're a trucker, so you already know the routes and stuff like that, and the highways and stuff like that. So that come natural. I mean, to you.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, and even then in 2010 when I got my CDLs, which was 10 years after, 10 plus years after I took my first road trip, which was like 99, 2000, something like that. But even in 2010, when I had GPS on the phone, and I can't use a phone GPS in a 18-wheeler truck, because it's gonna take me some places I don't got no business with in a truck. So I got to know how to read a map. I still got to know how to. You buy the big dumb maps this big, and you open it, and you got to know what all the stuff in the legend. You got to know what the interstate is, what all of that. How many of y'all know how to navigate with a map? Know what I'm saying? Like, not to throw my wife under the bus, but my wife, she lived in Cincinnati her whole life. She don't really know how to get around without GPS. I'm like, man, you drive down this street. Yeah, but I don't be paying attention. Like, we take those things, we take it for granted. Most times I'll be driving and I just assume, like, in the rare occasion or event that she drives and she'll make a turn, I'll be like, nah, go this way. I'm figuring look
at that landmark, man.
Know what I'm saying? I'm figuring she know, because as many times as I took us home from this way, she like, oh no, I don't remember none of that. And that's how most of us registering, and we don't know. Like, man, I threw away a Yellow Pages the other day. Who remember Yellow Pages?
Yo, bro, and people don't think we might not have to go back to that.
No, man.
Because just like you said, man, if they cut the grid down, that will set us back 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
How are you gonna survive? Getting out there, grilling your food. Like you said, eating fresh vegetables, fresh fruits,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and cooking your meat, and you have to finish the meat because you can't put it, in ice for too long.
Yep.
You can't freeze it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to dry your meat? Do you know how to salt it and preserve it and all of these different things that my mother and my father and my grandparents had to grow up doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, bro. And we forgot about those things, and we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
We should be at our grandpapa and our grandmother's feet,
Mm-hmm.
writing stuff down, recording what they're saying.
Yep.
Grandma, how y'all did this? How y'all did that? And you have that thing on hand because you don't know. You might need that thing. You might need that thing later on, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We take everything for granted.
Yeah.
And we have to we have to be more serious about just every day. Like man, think about if think about if you had to run to save your life. If you had to snatch your wife and your 3 daughters out the house and run a mile to safety.
Man, Jesus even talk about that time. Is that we got to run to the hills and woe unto those women who would suck, with babies, meaning they're pregnant or they have small children. Yo, man, God, imagine the choice that you have to make, bro.
Yeah.
The choices you have to,
So, with that being said, that's the show.
Yeah. It was good, man.
We came back with a vengeance. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for the Crown of Glory 360 podcast, episode 1 something. I forgot. But we continuing our trip through the book of Psalms. Catch us on all the social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, man, Twitter, everywhere. YouTube for all the shows. Kingdom Culture, Kingdom Conversations, Push the Rock, Crown of Glory 360 podcast, Bizarro World. You know what I'm saying? And like we always say, like we always do, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, always remember to be salt and light and walk in godliness. Peace.
Anyone comes to me and put anything or anybody before me in any capacity, that's your child, that's your mama, that's your wife, that's your friend, that's yourself. If you put you before him, you can't be my disciple. I need you absolutely surrender to me because I got something for you. I put a deposit in you, and I need my
ROI.
Yeah.
For this reason, since the day we heard about it, we have not stopped praying for you, asking specifically that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all spiritual wisdom, with insight into his purposes and to understanding of spiritual things, so that you will walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, displaying admirable character, moral courage, and personal integrity, to fully please him in all things, bearing fruit in every good work, steadily growing in the knowledge of God, with deeper faith, clear insight, and fervent love for his precepts. We pray that you may be strengthened and invigorated with all power, according to his glorious might, to attain every kind of endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father, who has qualified us to share in the inheritance of the saints and the Lord. Amen. Love y'all.
There's 2 point of views that's needed in that, in the marriage aspect. Those who have this.
Leave the sound effects to me, bro. Don't make me beat your mic.
But yeah, with those 2 point of views, man, before you get married, it's important that you set a foundation, and there has to be a foundation of will.
Well, we just trust in you, and we thank you. And no matter what situations, no matter what it looks like, what it may feel like, your word stands taller than everything. So we just want to just give you praise, thank you, and give you honor and glory, knowing that your promises are indeed 100%, 1 billion%, 1 trillion% true indeed. And we thank you, Lord, in the name of Jesus.
Amen.